Here's a bit of comparison between my old Dura Ace pedals and the Zeros. You can see that how big and bulky they are compared to the Speedplays. They're a lot heavier too, around 100 grams for the pair. About that difference. But okay, so the Dura Ace pedals are really nice. They last basically forever. I've had these for almost 3 years now. So they're great in the durability, but I'm really annoyed by the fact that basically you're clipped in by the spring tension here, which you can adjust here. And it happened to me a couple of times that when I was sprinting, I just unclipped, which in theory can't happen with the Speedplays because they don't rely on the spring tension. And also the single-sided entry and the awkward cleat design, which is still basically a ski binding, really old school. And I didn't like that very much because it's quite awkward when you get off at the junctions. So I'm excited to see how those Speedplays will perform. For my TT bike, I bought the Aero version. First I thought that the stainless steel version will be enough, but I realized that they have different spindle lengths. So the stainless version of both the Zero and the Aero have 53mm spindles in length. The titanium ones are 50s. So I decided to get both in titanium version to have the same setup. Of course these are not double-sided, but on a TT bike it doesn't really matter. But it should have some aero advantage because you have the smooth dimpled surface, a good transition there, also low stack height, which all helps. The spindle itself and the whole pedal is really nicely finished, but for this price it should be, of course. Again, when you compare it to the Dura Ace, you see how tiny it is. I should also have a narrower Q factor now, as you can see, so that could help with efficiency. I'm also quite a slim rider, so maybe that will add to the comfort as well. Another reason why I bought one pair of Aero pedals is these walkable cleats, which should be much easier to live with. I think I'll just use these and don't use the ones with the steel base plate, because now in winter it will be really slippery. So these are the Speedplay pedals, Aero version, and a standard double-sided version on my road bike. Okay, so now I started mounting the cleats on my shoes. These are Giro Empire SLXs. At first there are a lot of parts, it can be a bit daunting, but actually it makes quite a lot of sense. These are the Aero cleats I'm mounting right here. So the first thing you need to do is if you use 3-bolt shoes, of course, is to determine which or what kind of shims do you need for your base plate. These shoes are listed in the manual or on the internet. I found out that for my shoes you need the number 6 in both the front and rear to match the curvature of the sole, because these cleats don't work unless this base plate is completely flat when it's mounted. Then you have seen 4-bolt Speedplay specific shoes. Then you have maybe have also seen the flat area on the bottom of the shoe, and it serves exactly this purpose. So now I have this mounted. On top of that I can fit this Aero cover. It's basically just a piece of rubber to keep it nice and smooth. But I found out that this base plate actually adjusts only in fore and aft. So this is the only system basically that these grits on the shoes actually make some sense, because you can adjust fore and aft and side to side separately from each other, not just twisting around. You can't, the Shimano or Look cleats, you can never really get them spot on, which is also nice that they have these center markings around here, so you can fit it exactly where the ball of your foot is, so you don't need to really make any guesses about that. Okay, so now I have the complete cleat fitted. I'll get to the other shoe and try to match the setting. But I forgot to show you. This is the cleat adjustment, which is done here. But never mind, I do it on the other shoe. Okay, so here are my cleats with all the adjustments dialed. As I mentioned earlier, with the base plate you adjust the fore and aft. With the cleat itself you adjust the side to side, and then to adjust the tilt and the float you use these small screws. These are nicely marked, heel in, heel out. I ride a bit heel out, so I adjusted it in this direction, but I also like fixed cleats and no float in there, so I just tighten it from the opposite side. Now it's nice and fixed. Same on the boats on the other side. Okay, so now I have the setup dialed. I just try it out on the turbo trainer to see how it works. And then of course you just clip these into the place. These are the Aero covers. This is how it looks. It's quite low profile. Doesn't look as awkward maybe as the Shimano cleats. A bit heavier though, but the pedals are much lighter, so it's greatly offset by that. So this is a performance product and it needs to be taken care of. So that's what Speedplay recommends at least. That's why I bought this Finish Line Teflon spray. As you can see, Speedplay pedal right here. So I put a little on there and go for a test ride.